Right, once you have the basics, then what do? The first thing you do is you install the packages. Now the main package we will work with, what is it called? Tidyverse, which we already have. So you don't need to install it again. The only thing you have to do is load the package again. So just make a note, you don't need to install it every time, but you have to load it every time. Can you guys see it? Yeah? Right, how do you load a package? So the word to use is library. Open a bracket, and in double quotes you say tidyverse. Right, very important, tidyverse. And you run using Control Enter. And you will see that it's getting loaded. It's been loaded here. Right, what is the next thing you do once you load the package? You read the file, very important. The next thing is to read the file. Okay, so now just make a note. From now on, we will do CSV files because it will work for everyone. Okay, so we'll get rid of the XLSX. So everyone will do CSV now. So you don't need the XLSX package. Okay, you don't need to run that. Just tidyverse is enough. So make a new data frame, DF. And what was the read function? Read dot CSV. We use XLSX so far, but this is the new one, CSV. And all you have to do is in double quotes, give the file name, which is sample data week5.csv. You don't have to give the sheet name here, just the file name. And all you have to do is Control and look at that on the left, you can see that it's in your environment. Control Enter. Right, and then you can see on the left, the file is here. So now just look at the file. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns or 7 columns. Now, if I ask you which columns are numeric, which columns do you think look numeric? So ID, followers, following, and age. The one with numbers are numeric. And the one with alphabets, does anyone know what are they called? From statistics. Qualitative, very important. So they're called the qualitative variables. Just make a note if you don't know this. The other name is categorical variable. Okay, so the non-numeric will also be called categorical. Yeah, same. There are two types in qualitative, but we'll do categorical. There's one is ordinal as well, but we'll see that later. Categorical. We'll call it category, yeah. Okay, now let's learn some basic functions in statistics. So we'll do a little bit of descriptive. It's pretty simple. Okay, just recall this. If I say something like this, DF $age. If I do DF $age, what do you think is the output here? If anyone remembers.
It's gonna give The list of all the ages?
Right, so it will only pick the age column. So this is how you pick a single column. You have to say data frame dollar age. So just remember that. So the first function will be called mean. Pretty simple. What do you understand by mean? The average. So all you have to do is mean df dollar age. And press Control Enter. And see what happens. At the bottom here, it's telling you that the mean age in your data is 35, around 35. Makes sense? Pretty simple. All right, the next function will be called median. All you have to do is median df dollar, whichever column you want to find the median of. Let's do followers. So you just do median df dollar followers. Question? You can ask questions. Simple, Control Enter. Look at that. Well, what do you understand by the median? Right, the median is one that is in the middle of your data. Right, it's not the same as average. Median is the one which is in the middle of your data. Right, the next one will be called SD. Any guesses? What is SD? Has anyone done statistics here? Yeah, SD stands for standard deviation. Very important. Make a note. All you have to do is SD. Same thing, DF dollar age. And Control Enter. So the standard deviation in your data is 9.7. Yeah, what does that mean? We'll see. Just write this down first. That function. Just write down standard deviation is the average distance between all of your numbers. So it means the average distance between any two numbers in your data is around 10 years. Does that make sense? That's the average distance. Okay, it may not be the actual distance, but that's the average distance. Any numbers between in your data. Okay, the next one will be called VAR. Any guesses? What does VAR stand for? Variance. No, variance. Variance. You do it the same way. VAR, DF, say dollar followers. They work for numeric values, okay? So just make a note, not for categorical. The categorical data. Does anybody know what is the variance? Okay, just make a note. The variance is just the square of the standard deviation. So the variance is the square of standard deviation. Sometimes it is easier to find variance than standard deviation in problems. So that's why we also have variance in problems. Okay, we have two things. The next one will be called range. Pretty simple, range, df dollar, whatever variable you want to use. And enter, control enter. So now look at the output here. What do you understand by this? Yeah, very good. The range will give you the maximum value and the minimum value in your data. So for example, in the age column, the minimum age is 18 and the maximum age is 50. Is that making sense? Let's do one more. It'll be called quantiles. So you have to do quantiles. Or just quantile. And same thing, you say df dollar. Let's do following. Any guesses what is quantiles? Yeah.
Does it give to you the first,
Quarters. Yeah, very good. It gives you the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth value in your data. So look at what it means. If I do control enter, look at the output here. So it means the lowest value is 35. The value at the 25% is 313. It means this is also called Q1. Make a note. So at the first quarter, the value is 313. 50% means Q2, second quarter. So it means the middle of your data is 1405. This is the third quarter, Q3, and this is Q4, which is the maximum. Okay, so this is the minimum, this is the maximum, this is the middle. This is the middle of the middle, right? So 25%. And this is 3 quarters. Is the idea clear? What does it mean? Any questions on quantiles? Let's do a little bit more of this, then we can move on. Okay, to do more, you need an additional package, which is called, so write down, to do a bit more, you need an additional package, which is called moments. So to do anything more, you need additional package called as moments. Take notes, please, yeah?
Do you need anything in the computer for the stuff?
You just need RStudio.
install packages, just like moments with tidyverse inside? It runs it, but then when we do the sample data, it doesn't go through, even though he did put into his file, it's still.
We'll check. Okay, so this will install the package. What more do you have to do? You have to do library and. It's okay, I'll help you, don't worry, in the practice. Just take notes for now. Okay, the first function will be called apply. Okay, you have to give three things in apply. The first is the data frame, df, that we just built. Then you have to give a number, either 1 or 2. So let's say 1. And then you have to give the function, whatever you want to do. Now let's see what happens if I run it. I think I will get an error, but let's see the error and see if you can fix it. So we'll run this. So now look at this error here and tell me what's the error here and see if you can fix it. Look at the error here below. What are we supposed to put it in quotes? No, but look at this error here. It's closed, but no. We gave the data frame. Right, so what the apply function does, write this down. What it does is it takes the sum of the rows. So if there are numbers in the rows, it will take the sum of all the values and give the output. Right, so if you look at the data frame, what it will do is it will add this plus this plus this plus this plus this. Yeah, very good. Look at this. Can it add characters? It cannot. So that is the error here. So just make a note. Before you apply the apply function, you have to create a new data frame. Let's call it df1. And only select the quantitative variables. So before you do the apply function, make a new data frame and select only the quantitative variables. So now help me here. What should I do next? I want to create a new frame df1 from df. What do I do next? Say it, sorry.
Brackets, quotes, quote bracket. The brackets, sum bracket.
No, we want to select something. How do you select something from a data frame and save it into a new one? What is the state? We have to use the select statement here. So, but before we use the select, what do? Pipe operator. Very good. Remember the pipe operator. Now, how do I put the pipe operator here? Control Shift M. Very good. And then what do I do? Can I write in the same line? You have to go to the next line. And then say select. What are the three? We don't want ID. Let's forget ID. Let's do followers. Following. And age. And control enter. So look at that, a new variable or a new data frame has been made with only 3 columns. So what we are doing is we are extracting only the quantitative columns. Yes or no so far?
Yes.
So now if I do df1, comma 1, comma sum, let's hope it works. So if I do control enter, look at that. So now any guesses? What is 329 here? 329 is the sum of 276, 35, and 18. Okay, it's taking the sum of each row.
So it doesn't only give you.
No, it adds all of them together and gives the output.
Six of those the different rows it's taken.
Yeah, so the next one is this one, and that one. So that's 536. Then 469, 57, 18 is 544. Can somebody check quickly? 469 plus 57 plus 18. Is it 544? If you have on the phone, you can check on the calculator or something. 469 plus 57 plus 18. Yeah, so it's 544. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, well done. Good question. So that's the next thing. So just make a note. If you put the 1 here, it will give you the sum of the rows. But if you put 2 there, it will give you the sum of the columns. Very good. So if I put 2 here, same thing, but in the middle, if I put 2, it will give me the. If I do control enter, look at that. Look at that. The sum of followers is this much, the sum of following is this much, and the sum of age is this much.
Just for.
No, the whole column now. So it's adding the entire column. Is that making sense? If you put 1, you get the sum of the rows. If you put 2, you get sum of the columns. And most of the time, we will use the sum of the columns, not the sum of the rows. So just make a note. Sum of columns is more important than sum of rows. Most of the time. All right, similarly, there's another function called as sapply. So in sapply, you don't have to specify 1 or 2. It will automatically give you the sum of the columns. Okay, and because we will need the sum of the columns, we will use sapply more. Okay, all you have to do is give the data frame. Sorry, inside it. And just say that the function, you say fun, function should be sum or whichever. Let's do mean. And do control enter. So look at that. It's giving you the column answers to each. So the average followers is 2466. The average following is this, and the average age is this. Fun means function. What function do you want to find? All right, even better is the next function. which is called, look here, aggregate. Very important. The next function is called aggregate. So now let's see what happens. You say aggregate, and you give something like this. You say age we'll use the main frame again, okay, the data frame, df. We'll use that again. And you give this function, which is called tilde. Let me find it. Yeah, this one here. The tilde, which is above hashtag. And say if I say gender, first write it down, we'll see what happens. And then put a comma, and then say use this data frame df. And then say the function should be mean, something like that. So pretty amazing. See what happens. If I do Control Enter, look at the output. It's breaking the average age by female and males. It's above hashtag. On top of hashtag. Okay, then it should be somewhere else. We'll find it. All right, does that make does the output make sense? It's breaking it according to the gender. For example, if I put country here, is there country in DF? Yeah, there's country. If I break this by country, what do you think will happen? Look at that. It's giving you the average age in each country. Does that make sense? Okay, and one last function, which would be called summary. All you have to do is summary, open bracket, df. Summary, sorry. Any guesses? What will this do? It will give you the summary of each column all together. So let's see what happens. Look at the output here, pretty important. So it's giving you the summary for the ID column. It's giving you the summary for social media, summary for gender, country, followers, following, and age. So if you don't want to do any of the above functions, just do summary to get the idea of your data. Did that make sense? Yeah. We'll see when we practice. I'll come there when we practice. All right, go through the stuff, see if any questions so far. I'm going to stop the recording for a bit because we're going to start a new topic then.